are at Shelters by Jesus podcast, and we are so excited that you're with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, you're sharing with your friends, because that brings money in. And if you want to help get people off the street, you go to sheltersbyjesus.com. If you'd like to give, it's $9. We'll get somebody off the street. We also have 4 books out written by the dumb hick from Skowhegan, me. And they have 2 prices, $10 are free. And you put your name and address right there and tell if you want books 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of them, we'll mail them right out to you. You also can call the office at 207-474-8833 and give them your name and address there, and they'll ship it. But the other thing you can do is get a tour. When you call that number, say, I'd like a tour, and you'll meet the residents. You'll see everything we have. And we're just excited about you being a part of this. So now, on to the podcast. All right, here we go, the podcast. We're excited today. We're here at North Monmouth Community Church. Again, I've been here a bunch of times, and we've dealt with different things. Today, we are dealing with something we haven't dealt with. School supplies. Isn't it amazing? Homeless kids need school supplies like normal kids. Don't they just blow your mind? And I have some young people with me here. They have children. They're not homeless, but they're here, and they help with the supplies here at the church. There are a couple of them that did. Would you want to tell us your names, please?
I'm Michael Collette.
And Ruth Collette.
All right.
Yep.
And you folks go here to North Monmouth.
Yes, we've been going here for a couple months now.
Okay.
Our friend Riley introduced us to the pastor, who I became good touch with.
All right.
We've been coming along and enjoying it. It's been really wonderful, and yeah.
Praise God.
Yeah, praise God.
Yeah, well, it's been great to meet you guys. And so why buy for the homeless kids? Why would you do that?
Well, we will say that we have a lot of good friends who actually helped us with this. They were cleaning out their house, and they gave us all their supplies before they moved to California.
Yeah.
So obviously we have a couple kids, so we were going to use it. And then when they said that we had, that you guys needed some stuff, we knew that we could give it up because we didn't need to use all the crayons and papers. And my wife is a very crafty person. So she gathers all kinds of crafts and stuff in bulk. So we weren't using it, and they needed it. So that's what we bought.
Well, I tell you, it's such a necessary thing. We have some at the shelter. He's going to do homeschooling there.
Yes.
At the shelter, and they really need supplies. Can we get your wife back in here? Bring your kids with you.
Come here, Micah.
Bring your kids with you.
Say hi.
Hi. What are your children's names?
This is Micah. He's 3 years old. And I have a daughter, Mila Rose.
Mila Rose.
Yes.
I've never heard of that. Mila.
Yeah.
And she is so happy to be on my podcast.
So happy. Yes. She's a lovely girl. She's 18 months.
All right.
Yeah. And
a happy 18 months right now.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
happy.
Mom, just leave her alone, Mom. She
They
says.
call that very good character building.
There you go.
But
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
I got a question, and it steps outside this a little bit because Pastor Ed mentioned this morning, you folks been involved with at least.
I was, yep. I grew up in a church where we started doing a ministry called House of David.
House of David. Mm-hmm. Okay, what is House of David?
House of David was started, oh my gosh, this is over 20 years ago.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm over 20 years old.
Yeah, in Old Orchard Beach in Maine, we started a surf ministry. And it literally was just a handful of us and a guitar and singing on the beach.
Really?
Singing on the beach and just talking to anybody that stopped to listen. And,
okay.
and then our pastor, Mark Wheeler, he would do a 5-minute little just quick speech. It wasn't even really a sermon. It was just kind of a lot of what you were talking about today of just
getting to know them.
Good,
yeah, show them you care about them.
Yep. So we did that for, almost over a year. And then finally, God blessed us with a building, and we had more people that were involved that wanted to help pay for rent, and we got a building.
Awesome.
In fact, I think it was on the news and in the paper and all that.
We did a lot of things. Yep. We were very involved. We teach kids how to surf and also offered them a place to go that wasn't, drugs, alcohol, a lot of the other things that, people find themselves into. So.
Well, all those things are so precious. People don't realize how important it is.
I agree. And just to reach out, like I wasn't involved doing this, but just to hear her story and reading and all that stuff, it's pretty amazing. Like, oh, my wife is pretty popular. And
Yeah.
she's like surfing. Like,
I didn't know how popular she was.
Like, found a surfer girl.
Yeah,
really cool.
you got a surfer girl.
Yeah,
well, she's too young to be a Beach Boy fan. So,
no.
But anyway, they had surfer girls.
Yes.
In my day and age.
Exactly.
So anyway, there's so many ministries out there that dealing with those that are outside of the realm of the church, and that's a nice one. I mean, I hadn't heard of it, but I just wanted to put it on here so people hear about it. There's all kinds of ways you can minister outside of a church building, and this is one right here. I know the kids are going to get excited when they see these supplies come.
Yes.
The parents are going to get excited when they see this stuff coming, especially those, like you say, the ones going to homeschool at the church.
Right.
One guy, he's a single dad. He's not a kid. He's an old dude. But he's going to be a school mom, so to speak. And he's got some of the ladies at the church. They're going to jump in with him at the shelter. They're going to help him teach. And I said, what you got? Well, you got nothing. Well, we do now because you guys are sending materials.
And you really be surprised how much stuff is really lying around your house. I know I'm really blessed with a very crafty wife, but I mean, anything you have around the house that you're not really using, guarantees someone else can use it.
Yeah, and the homeschoolers, they don't just do regular stuff either.
Yeah.
They do projects because they don't like.
So even if you had like toilet paper rolls and stuff like that, collect a bunch of toilet paper rolls, that's craft work.
Right.
You know,
and homeschoolers do that stuff.
And that's what homeschoolers do, you know, collecting, you know, your plastic from your fruit containers or something like that. You know, that's projects that my wife does with our kids and her friends and their kids and stuff like that. And like you said, homeschoolers use it for their science project. You just collecting a bag of that, bringing it might be recyclables, but they could probably use it as a project. Well,
what's exciting is you're helping the folks with us because they can't afford to go out and get this stuff.
Exactly.
They're in a homeless shelter. Obviously, they couldn't even feed themselves and clothe themselves. So this takes it to another level. But they want their children to have an environment other than the school system. I know people watch this, some of them go, "Oh, my kids are in the school system," but that's what you choose, right? But if they want to choose, there shouldn't be a lack of materials that keeps them from letting them choose where they want their children.
Exactly.
Just because they're homeless shouldn't put them in a different category.
Or hurt them for growing further.
Right.
Exactly.
So they're still humans. Yes.
I'm back. No, I was just gonna say I got really excited listening to you today because I already have a problem with picking up random things that I find that I don't need, but I'm like, somebody could use this.
Yes.
Isn't that like my
Yes.
Somebody could use this. And so you probably just actually progressed my addiction with that.
I did it last week and I'm like, darn it.
Well, sit down here. We're looking for more podcasting. Have a seat.
Oh,
Yeah.
You'll walk right in. Come here. Have a seat. Get back here, woman. Come here. Down, woman. Down. Come here. Man, I tell you, you watch this. People scared of my podcast, man.
It must be the phone. Everyone gets intimidated.
I'm telling you. Come over here. Only a second. Come here. You just brought stuff. And you go to the restroom afterwards. Come on. Take 2 seconds. I'm just going to ask you one or two questions, and I'll let you go. How's that? I'm not going to nail you down. First of all, I get an important question. We're still trying to catch up with the guys. Hang loose. She's coming back. Here she comes. All right. First big question. See if you can handle this. It's very spiritual. What's your name?
Brenda Hawk.
Brenda Hawk. All right, Brenda. Brenda, you watch my Facebook and my podcast.
His podcast.
You watch my stuff.
Awesome.
Now you're going to see you on there. Huh? Now you just come in and put some stuff behind me to support the homeless kids in the school supplies. Why do that, Brenda?
Our kids are so important. They're our family. It's all about our children. I mean, teach them right, teach them to love God, and yeah.
Yeah, but these are homeless kids. I mean, they're just those kind of people. Why would you want to do that for homeless kids?
They're our children.
Still God's children.
They're all God's children.
Amen.
We're all God's children. So anything I can do to help out.
Well, it helps. I just see you slide some stuff in behind me here. Try not to get on my camera, but you are. But this church has been very supportive and all this stuff, and there's more stuff coming. I want to thank you and everybody here that cares about these homeless kids. And as we were just talking, before you come in, we have a single dad is trying to do homeschooling at a shelter. First time ever. And Seth Roberts' wife, Tia, who's done homeschooling all along, is going to help him out. But I said, well, what you got for supplies? Well, he said, I'm hoping to. I said, because I have nothing. But I want my kids to have a chance to be homeschooled too, and not being left out just because they're homeless. Means they got to do something I don't want them to have to do. You know, if you want your kids in public school, that's fine. Public school is fine if you want it. But just because you don't have the monies or you're homeless doesn't mean your children shouldn't still have an option, right? And because what you guys are doing, you're making it possible for them to have the materials to do stuff to make you have an option. So Brenda, thank you for watching my podcast, Brenda.
I want to say thank you to Pastor Barry and all he's doing with the homeless.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I could not do this or
And just your message, just like even coming to our church and letting us know, because we wouldn't know. I mean, we see him all the time, but we wouldn't know the deeps, the hurt and all that, and just inspiration of wanting to come and help, and just whatever you have in your back pocket or whatever thing, just to give it out. So
I appreciate that.
I appreciate the message.
Everybody come to Augusta. I will be at the Augusta.
I will be at the Augusta. Me and my wife will be
so
at
excited. I'm going to find people. So I can't wait.
Augusta's going to get bombed, baby.
Yeah.
We will find them.
I actually just got really excited about that because I can't tell you how many times when we're driving down, just different roads, like we see them everywhere.
Yes.
You know?
Well, we got a guy in our shelter who actually is a chef right now who used to be on the streets in Augusta.
Wow.
And he said, I know two major encampments right now. One's by the river and one's behind the State House.
Yes.
I said, the State House? He goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And said, so those are two major ones. And we got the Victory Biker Church are going to join us. And they're contacting their friends on the PD there.
And I'm also a chef as a career, so I would totally
Love to help them.
Oh, man. Oh, I like chefs, man.
Yeah, so
I mean, look at me. I like chefs, bro.
I can make fast sandwiches.
All right,
There
because
we
we're going to
go.
be making them.
Yeah.
Because he wants to make them on site. So you guys, we're going to put you right to work, man.
No problem with that.
All right.
I'm not afraid of work.
So Augusta, here we come. But I'm telling everybody, hang on, cities, because Jesus is coming to town near you.
Amen.
And we're going to hit Maine hard. My goal is eventually, and I know people think I was crazy to start with Maine, but once we get churches like this that gather and can take over their area, so I don't have to keep coming back in. I want to go out of state. I'm seeing on TV some of these major cities that nobody's going in. I want to load up some trailers. I want to head into these cities. I want to take this on, man.
Especially winter coming around.
Oh.
I know Northeast is
Oh,
so
yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Pastor Spencer about clothes, blankets,
Yeah.
hand-me-downs and stuff like that. Like, I mean, my kids are growing. They've run out of their clothes. I don't need them anymore, since like that.
I mean, that you don't wear their clothes they wear out now.
A little too big for that.
Well, there you go. So what can I say? But there are, there's, I'd like to say there's families, but, everybody said, well, what about all the children out there? I haven't seen any children out there, and the thing with it is DHS steps in,
Yes.
and they take the children.
Good. Thank God.
Because, the parents lose them, but if they get a place, they can get them back. We have people come to our shelter, they've got their children back. They're on the street, and they lost them because they're on the street. But because they're at the shelter, the judges have let them
It's great.
get them back at the shelter.
When you need your family.
But the kids need to be safe,
And
and they do. And it's gonna be. I can't imagine somebody coming in, DHS coming and take my babies.
just their
I mean,
whole situation
Oh.
they're in, I couldn't imagine.
That's why I say, if you go with us sometime and you're watching this, and if you're watching it, of course you're watching it, duh. As you watch this, I keep saying, you want to go with us sometime in an area near you. If you don't want to get addicted to this, don't go. You think heroin's addictive? It's got nothing on helping the homeless. You start looking into some eyes, and you start seeing them cry over you giving them a sandwich. Like, you make them a sandwich, hand it to them, and they're going to cry.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, oh, thank you, I'm going to eat today. Some will say, I haven't eaten for 2 or 3 days. You get addicted. And then they go, you're nuts. Well, I'm 74 years old, and I'm starting that. This is a whole brand new ministry for me. I don't know how long I can carry it, but some young guys are going to come along and say, oh, fat man, get out of the way, I'll take over. I'm waiting for that guy. Yeah, he's welcome to come and take it anytime.
Well, you're inspiring, so maybe.
So God may grab some other guy and bring him along, or gal, or whatever, to take. But guys like Pastor Ed's getting real burdened now. Your pastor, you should have seen him down there. It's like his eyeballs are hanging on top of his head.
Well, I was gonna say when he was talking today, it sounded like he really got a little humbled.
Oh, he got
the
it.
Rain and all that sense.
Oh, yeah.
They need us. at the rain when it's raining, they need us just as more than sunshine.
Oh yeah.
That was the
And it was wet and it was cold, and we
Right.
had to go off and leave them. We left them best we could. We left them with tents and we left them with food and all that. But you almost feel guilty going home
Right.
and changing your
Exactly.
clothes and having a warm place. You do, but it is addictive. And
I can't
But-
imagine the winters. I can't imagine a winter being out in cold. I've always had heat or air conditioning or blankets or whatever I need. I've always had food in front of me.
Yep.
I can't imagine what it's like to be
And
homeless.
the clothes that you're wearing are dry and all that sense like that. And
yeah, and if they get wet, guess what? We can go home and change.
yes,
They can't.
yeah,
See, people don't understand. One guy, we had clothes there, and he was so excited. He got 5 sets. He said, I've worn the same set of clothes all summer.
Yeah.
I didn't have a change of clothes. But you don't think about that.
no,
You're going home, and my closet's full of clothes, all right? Probably too many clothes. I don't wear half of them. They're probably sizes, who knows. But they're there.
yes,
And this guy's going, I can't change. I haven't been able to change my clothes all summer. And, it gets you.
Water.
And water, and you give them water, and they go, oh man. We had people so dehydrated they couldn't come to our camp when we went down to Portland. They couldn't get out and come to where we were. They were too dehydrated to leave there. They were
Yeah.
laying down. They were down,
I could imagine.
and we got them water to get them up, and they're dying there.
And the struggles of trying to, where am I going to find this water?
Yes.
Because someone's not coming and giving it to me.
Yeah.
That's-
So we take care of them, and now people look at this and go, well, isn't this kind of minor doing it? No, this is major doing this for these kids.
right.
These kids need this, supplies. And if you got supplies and you want to support the homeless children with supplies, come see us. You got our address. It's 12 McClellan Street in Skowhegan, Maine. Call us 207-474-8833 and say, look, I got some stuff, man.
Yeah.
And if you want to join us, watch these podcasts. Also watch my Facebook page, and check it out. We're going to be putting in, because we may be coming to a town near you right off. And before we're done, we probably will. We've been to Portland, Lewiston, Auburn, heading for Augusta. We're going to be heading for Bangor, too. I know they got stuff going up there, but they got more than they can handle.
Yeah.
And we're going to load up, and we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it hard. We're coming in full speed ahead. Guns blaring, spiritual guns blaring.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me
Yes.
too.
Very excited.
So thank you guys for this.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being on my podcast.
Thank you, Pastor.
Brenda, for somebody who didn't want to be on, you did a good job.
Yes.
Now you keep an eye out, and they'll go, get that woman on there again, because she ain't bad.
She's
All
going
right?
to go viral.
See? Look at that.
Everybody to come.
Yeah.
Be there. Be in Augusta.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
You're going to want to be a part of this, guys. I'm telling you right now. And until my next podcast, y'all come back now here.